Welcome back. It's been a long break, but here we are finally back with OUA In A Snap.
We'll be showing you some on-the-road footage from earlier in the season, and later we'll be joined by Waterloo's Tre Ford and Bertoia. But first, we need to talk about the game that completes the Canadian University season, the Vanier Cup.
The Canadian Championship returned to Tim Hortons Field in Hamilton for the second year in a row. Sunday marked the end of a 23-year drought for the Western Mustangs as they beat the returning champs Laval Rouge-et-Or. Final score 39-17. And despite Laval having the top-ranked defense in the country, Western proved, as they have the entire season, that they are unstoppable. The Mustangs racked up a total of 578 offensive yards and held their D-line strong, leaving Laval with only 277 yards on the offense. Many people said going into this game that Western wouldn't stand a chance and that they hadn't really played any tough teams this year, but Mustangs definitely shut down that argument. Linebacker Jean-Gabriel Poulin pinpoints the start of their championship push all the way back to last year when they lost the Yates Cup to Laurier. He said in that moment they decided that they weren't going to lose another game, and they've held true to that. The Western Mustangs finished this season undefeated, 12-0, a total of 647 points over the course of the season, and only 169 points against them.
Second-year man Chris Merchant was named the MVP of Saturday's Vanier Cup win. The Mustangs pivot finished the game having completed 12 of his 20 pass attempts for 276 yards through the air and a touchdown. He also would contribute to the ground game as per usual by adding 89 yards and 2 touchdowns. Those numbers combined to outperform Laval's defense, who averaged only 304.8 yards against, ranking second in the nation. Merchant opened up the scoring off a 13-yard scamper in the first quarter, and the Stangs wouldn't look back from there. We focused on what we were good at and what we thought they were going to do, said Merchant following the win.
Also a huge game for Western's head coach Greg Marshall. He's no stranger to OUA football, 18 seasons, including 9 Yates Cup wins. He's taken his team to the Vanier Cup twice, but this marks his first national victory as head coach. Immediately following the game, Marshall expressed his feelings about the win. He said, "It's been a special day. I've been working hard at this for a long time. I'm really proud of our entire coaching staff. We've got a great team here, and you know what? We're going to enjoy this one tonight." What a great way for him to finish this season. Now, there were some other notable players, including Cedric Joseph, running back 2 touchdowns.
Absolutely. Not only that, but Fraser Sopik was named the defensive MVP for the Mustangs.
Yeah. And this actually works out in Western's favor because now they are only 2 Vanier Cups behind Laval, who are currently leading most Vanier Cups of all time. I bet you Greg Marshall is already working to close that gap as we speak.
Absolutely, and while still on the topic of Greg Marshall, he actually managed to win 2 Vanier Cups with Western when he first became a positional coach back in the late 80s, early 90s. So for him to finally have gotten that national championship under his belt as the big...
That's the career move that you want to have.
Absolutely.
That's the one.
So that wraps up the Vanier talk for now. We're going to talk a little bit more about how the OUA season wrapped up, especially the Marauders. Now, McMaster managed to piece together a rather successful season despite the majority of their team being rookies. We head down to McMaster where we catch up to some of those key players.
Hey guys, we're here in Ron Joyce Stadium at McMaster University where we're going to go talk to 3 of their offensive rookies. Let's go in and meet them.
Football's been great so far. I mean, it's a huge commitment, and I'm happy to be a part of the team. A lot of new friends. Yeah, I can't say enough. It's been a great 2 months so far. Grew up playing with Mario Elias. We played hockey and football together our whole life, and now we're. It's a little bit bigger stage. It's cool playing with guys you grew up with. It's cool coming in as a rookie and, just meeting a guy on the first day and now you're one of his brothers. Like it's a sweet atmosphere. I mean, Tommy Neal and I played against each other our whole life, but now we're on the same team. It's a sweet feeling.
First year has been surreal, really. A lot of fun. It's easy transition into football, but university life is a lot different than high school, obviously. So McMaster brought in a lot of rookies this year, and it's a good thing and a bad thing because Good thing is a lot of competition, which means the bad thing, not a lot of guys are playing because of the vets and everything. But we get to grow off of one another, being so many guys, so everybody gets enough reps, and you get to meet new people, and you just get to learn more about football and other people.
The team is loaded with rookies. How do they blend so well?
For me to hang out with the other rookies off the field, whether we're like studying together or just hanging out playing video games, we spend a lot of time with those guys.
We're clearly successful, and we're just going to grow off of that. So the next 3-4 years, we're going to be a very dangerous team.
The Marauders have seen quite the baby boom in form of 45-plus rookies this year. They're young, talented, and always ready to compete. The future looks quite bright for this team. For OUA In A Snap, I'm Josh Giles.
Well, we look forward to seeing where those guys end up in their OUA careers. We'll be back right after the break with OUA by the Numbers. Stay tuned. For the second straight year, the Vanier Cup was held at Tim Hortons Field, and the fans made their presence felt all game long in Hamilton. Passionately cheering along as the nation's top two teams battled it out on the gridiron was a total of 10,754 fans, many of whom went home happy after the OUA champion Mustangs earned the win.
Much was made about the matchup between Laval's nation-leading defense and the seemingly unstoppable ground game of the Western Mustangs, but the purple and white earned the edge all game long. The combination of Alex Taylor, who returned to the field after missing both the Yates Cup and the UTEC Bowl, Chris Merchant and Cedric Joseph ran for 302 yards on the ground to go along with 4 rushing touchdowns.
With their Vanier Cup win against Laval, the Western Mustangs capped off an undefeated season of 12 wins and 0 losses. En route to their 12 wins, the Mustangs scored a U Sports leading 647 points while surrendering just 169 against.
Western's Fraser Sopik has been a leader on this defensive side of the ball all season, but the linebacker may very well have saved his best for last. To go along with a sack and a pass breakup, the Vanier Cup's defensive player of the game also tallied 10.5 tackles on the day, including 10 of the solo variety to lead all players.
By topping the Rouge et Or in the 53rd Vanier Cup, the Western Mustangs were able to end their 23-year drought and earn their 7th national championship in school history. Their last appearance came in 2008 against Laval, while their most recent title was in 1994. Now we're going to send it over to Josh at U of T, where the head strength coach took him through a conditioning workout.
Hi, I'm Josh Giles, and we're here at the University of Toronto with strength and conditioning coach Adrian Lightower. Now, Adrian, what exactly is your role here?
So I'm the head of strength conditioning, so I'm responsible, along with a department of other strength conditioning coaches, for delivering programming to all of our varsity teams and also any high-performance athletes that come in to train here.
Now, you actually have some exercises set up for me here.
Yeah.
Right? So let's just get to it then.
So we're going to do a variety of exercises. We're going to do some stuff that's mainly related to speed and agility, and then we're going to finish off with some conditioning, football-specific conditioning.
Perfect. Just a heads up, I'm really out of shape, so don't expect a lot out of me.
Okay.
All right, where are we going to start?
Basically, it's the same idea as pulling a sled behind you.
Excellent.
But when you're running with a sled, you build up some momentum and the sled gets a little lighter, right? With this thing, the resistance is pretty much the same the whole way through it. So you just got to work hard all the way down, right?
All right.
Okay, go hard, man. Drive, 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 use your arms. Feel like he's training for a walking race, not a running.
Why is strength and conditioning so important?
It's important for a lot of reasons. You can't be practicing all the time, and so the athletes tend to spend a lot of time in their strength conditioning program. So having a good strength conditioning program where you're achieving something constantly, everything's directed, the sessions are developed not only to make you better as an individual, but to promote the team culture that head coach wants to implement, to promote hard work, and obviously being stronger, faster, more powerful. but also more resilient to injury. If we're moving really well and we can teach athletes to be strong in biomechanically sound movement patterns, they're going to be less likely to get hurt, they're going to be able to rehab faster. So that's also a really, really big part of what we do, is trying to keep them healthy or able to get back from injury as quick as possible.
So do you think I'm football ready then?
I think we have a little bit of work to do.
All right, thank you very much, Adrian.
All right, good to meet you. Thanks a lot.
In his second year as head coach, Chris Bertoia has turned the Waterloo Warriors from a team dwelling in the basement of the OUA standings to a 500 team. We'll be joined by him and Warriors freshman pivot Tre Ford coming up after the break. Welcome back. We are joined here with two members of the Waterloo Warriors football team, head coach Chris Bertoia and quarterback Tre Ford. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it.
So you guys won a few awards, OUA Coach of the Year, Rookie of the Year. Tell us a little bit about that.
You know, obviously, winning Coach of the Year, you're just the figurehead. Really, the players, Tre and his teammates put forth a great effort this past season, and obviously building up to the season. And our coaches, you know, the assistant coaches, the equipment manager, so on and so forth. Everybody who was involved in the football program, the athletic therapists, you can name it. They all had a contribution to us, you know, turning the corner and getting some victories. So obviously a very humbling experience. It's nice to be recognized from an individual perspective, but ultimately this is a team game, and coaching included. It's all inclusive, and so I have to give recognition and compliments to, you know, the staff and the players. Their efforts were outstanding, and you know, it's never, as I say, it's not a me award, it's the we award.
Well, it said outstanding effort, Rookie of the Year. How are you feeling about that one?
Yeah, like it's a nice individual accomplishment, but again, it's the team thing. Like without the O-line blocking for me, I'm not going to do anything. The receivers going up, making great catches, making me look good. And without these guys, Coach Burt and Coach B, he calling the plays, you know, none of it would have been possible. So like for me, like it's a good award to have, but I don't think it's just like my award. I think it belongs to the team. I don't think it represents like me being Rookie of the Year. It's more of like a turnaround for Waterloo. Like we're turning the program around, and we're gonna keep moving forward from here. So
That's awesome. So, I mean, you have a twin brother, also a rookie. Is there any
Yes.
bad blood there that you got the award, or is he okay with it?
nah, I think he's all right with it. I would have been all right if he won it. You know, it's just having one of us got it, I guess, right? So it's not. No, he's pretty supportive of me. I'm supportive of him. So it
Good.
works.
That's awesome.
And so, Chris, you had spent quite a bit of time with the Western Mustangs football program.
Yeah.
You returned back to your alma mater at Waterloo. What's it feel like to kind of go? I mean, you kind of went through your first season 0-8, but you managed to turn around. You're still 500. Obviously, you'd like to do a lot better than that, and obviously, you're still growing as a program. But what's it feel to be coaching back at where kind of it all began?
Well, I mean, it's a trend right now to trust in the process, and I think there's an affirmation in that, and I think it's important to understand where we were and where we've came to and where we need to go to. I knew it was going to be an uphill battle, and players, it was really more about us changing the culture. And fortunately enough, I've had an opportunity to coach at two other football programs, Western for 6.5 years, and prior to that, St. FX out in Nova Scotia, and different schools, different strengths, different weaknesses, and you learn and you take from all of that. And obviously, Western had a fantastic weekend winning the Vanier Cup, and very, very happy for that football program, and Coach Marshall in particular, who was a great mentor to me. You take all the good things and you put your own spin on it. Obviously, coming back to your alma mater, I think it's there's something there when you've sat in the same seats and lecture halls as the players you're currently coaching. You just kind of you get excited about everything that you're doing, and obviously we weren't in a great place, and we're still not where we need to be. But at the same time, it's nice to be tasked with that challenge of turning things around and getting back to the olden days. Because I was fortunate enough, as you said, it being my alma mater, we played in 4 straight Yates Cups, and we won 2 of them. And then we knew that success on the football field. And for me, I want to work day and night to put us in a position with our staff and our players to feel that again one day. So.
And so when you're with Western, you're heavily involved in the recruitment of a lot of players. I actually played under you with the Junior Mustangs in 2013 and saw how involved you were with the recruiting and talking to the younger guys. In cases like with Tre, how involved are you with the recruiting of the next generation of Warriors players?
I started recruiting Tre while I was still working at Western. For Western, really, we went down and there's some camps going on and stuff, and I had an opportunity to meet Tre and his brother when they were in grade 10, and they were outstanding then. And you kind of.
That was the first visit.
Yeah.
With you.
Yeah. Put a little asterisk on the name, and obviously, in building a program, you want to build from the inside out, and you want to have a good offensive line, a good defensive line, and quarterbacks kind of run the ship. They're the CEOs of the franchise, and so we had to go out and we have a good quarterback who's in house, and he's been great in competition with Tre, and but we needed to go out, and if Tre was available, we needed to land Tre. Obviously played a role in that. Recruiting's where I made my name, per se, I guess, and I want to be involved with it always. We have a fantastic recruiting coordinator, Darrell Adams, right now. He's down the street, and Tim Horton's doing his thing, and he does a lot of the legwork, and it is tiring and very tasking, and I want to try and be there beside him as much as I can. You got to sell your strengths, and that's one of my strengths, and I enjoy recruiting. I enjoy meeting young men and their parents, and trying to entice them to come to Waterloo and see all the benefits and what a great academic school we have, and an up and coming football program.
Awesome. Well, speaking of recruiting, you said you pegged this one early. So what made you end up choosing Waterloo Warriors? Why was that what you went with?
Well, the first thing that attracted me was the rec and leisure program. It was I was attracted to it. It was something that I enjoyed and I wanted to get into. So that was number one. Number two was the coach. Coach Burt, he great guy, always supportive. Started scouting me since I was in grade 10. Some of the other schools come out when you get to your grade 11 or 12 year, and they're just you should come here. But he was there the whole time. So that was a big part of it. And then it was another big reason was it was part of when we came into high school, me and my brother, we were the same situation at high school. They didn't even have a team before that. They were OUA 8 or whatever for 5 or 6 years or something. So it was the turnaround thing. I kind of felt like coming to Waterloo was the same kind of thing, turning the program around. I just wanted to be a part of that.
Well, that's awesome. Well, you've done a great job so far, as we talked about. It was 0-8 last year. You brought it back to 4-4. So I really look forward to seeing how you guys move things forward. So thank you for joining us. We will be back after the break. So we'll see you after the break. That wraps things up here for the OUA football season. We've had a blast breaking it all down for you. Make sure you tune in to OUA.tv to keep up to speed on other university sports. For OUA In A Snap, I'm Christine Midgley.
And I'm Ethan Reddy. Thanks for tuning in.